runs. Do you have a pulse on where that offense is right now?
Yeah, I think that we're going to hit home runs, no doubt. We got most of the power guys back from last year, and we added a few. I mean, you know, we have 3 transfer hitters, and they all hit the ball a long way. I mean, they're all middle of the order guys. There's 3 of them. I don't even know if I can get them all in the lineup at the same time. But I think that we will hit, and I think because we've worked on it so hard and talked about it so much that we should walk more. And, you know, with age, you usually learn the strike zone better and you lay off borderline pitches, you know, early in the count. And with 2 strikes, you fight off more pitches. And, you know, we're going to strike out some, but everybody does. Our league, the pitching in our league, the velocities in our league, the stuff in our league is incredible. If you look at it, and, you know, we look at a lot of data, basically. The average fastball in the SEC over the last few years is like not even a mile an hour less than what the average fastball is in the big leagues. You know, because the average fastball in the big leagues, maybe it's 93.3 and SEC's 92.5. I mean, you talk to Coach Hobbs, he'll tell you all about it, okay? But it's amazing, and that's what we deal with in our league. And you go to other leagues, and their average fastball is 89.7, 90.2. It's a big difference when you're hitting, believe me. So we're going to be every bit as electric as we've been the last couple of years offensively.
Dave, where do you think the new facilities are going to help the program the most going forward?
Well, yeah, you said the most at the end, so that makes it a little tougher. I'll just say with the development of our players, if you're talking about the most, I mean, you got to walk through it today and you see how nice it is, and it all kind of flows once you learn the building. You know, it's like the weight room's right in the middle, built around that with training room and, you know, the indoor downstairs with the technology. It makes it easier than running all over the place. Guys, I mean, we pretty much have to kick them out of here at night. They just hang out, which is awesome. That's what we want. You know, on weekends they're up here when it's off season, and you know it's just a development. It just makes it a lot easier having these type of facilities, and you know, with our nutrition center, and they do a great job here. They're in there working and stocking and making sure the guys have everything, and you know, you got to get players. You know, you can coach guys up, but you got to have good players. And this building's going to help us get more players.
It's always a loaded question, but do you have a favorite part of the facility?
That's a tough question. Like you say, I don't know if I have a favorite part. I can tell you this: just about every day I walk in and I just kind of shake my head, thinking, "Wow, this is amazing." And how far has college baseball come in the 20 years I've been here? And I've been coaching college baseball mid-30s, 35 years now, plus somewhere in there. I mean, you just look at the game as a whole. The players are bigger, stronger, better. You know, they hit the ball farther, they throw the ball harder, they're faster. The facilities across the country are unbelievable compared to what they used to be even 15 years ago. The commitment from administrations all over the country are amazing, even at some of the mid-majors, building some really nice facilities. Fans are involved. You got TV coverage, media coverage. You know, I mean, even this event right here, if you can call it an event, we'll just call it a quick meeting. You know, 20 years ago, there would have been 3 people in here. Bob would have been one of them. But, you know, it's in this facility as a whole, everything, and our indoor across the street. I mean, it's all part of it. It's amazing, and there's more universities that are looking around, and then they're watching TV and they're seeing our crowds and you know what our league's been doing, and their fans are jumping in and helping out with some support and finances, and I don't think it's going to go away.
Coach, you mentioned Connor Noland earlier. What about him is better so far this year?
Well, if you just talk about Connor physically first, he's in really good shape and he's healthy. You know, last year he hurt himself, and Didn't go well. When we got back, it didn't go well. Never really 100%. He stayed here all summer. Didn't go out and pitch and got his body in incredible shape. Came out in the fall, and so what has he done on the mound? He's thrown the ball harder. He's throwing just as many strikes. You know, a lot of times if you pitch at 90 and you're trying to throw 92, 93, you're not going to throw the ball where you want it. Well, now he's throwing the ball 92, 93, 91. You know, last year probably 88 to 91, maybe a little more here and there, but it just seems easy for him to throw 91, 92 with sink, keeping the ball down. His secondary stuff is really good. He's kind of got a power sink and fastball. And I like when Connor pitches because he's not trying to strike everybody out. He's going to get a ground ball to third or short or whatever, and we can field it, and maybe he can stay in the game longer. We can move the game along a little bit, not a lot of full counts. And to me, he's just better all the way around, everything.
You talked quite a bit about, needing to figure out your rotation and things like that, but what about the field? Are there any specific positions that you're still looking at as like unsettled going into the season so far?
Well, I don't know exactly who's going to start in the outfield every day yet, because there are 4 or 5, maybe 6 really good options. You know, somebody can DH, but you only have one of those. So, whenever you've got to have an athlete in center field. And so one of our best athletes was Caden Wallace. So we were working him out in center right when he got back, and he knew that. We talked to him about it. Even though in summer ball he played right field, but he took a lot of fly balls in center. I think they had a really good center fielder out of Arizona State. I went and watched him play out in the Cape. But he was doing a great job out there. But we just started looking at it, put him in at third for a couple of games, let him work out with the infield a little bit. He was our best third baseman. And that's what he was when we recruited him. And we just said, okay, we're going to go with him there, let him play third. Webb had an incredible fall until he got hurt. I mean, he led our team in about everything. And I'm talking home runs, batting average, stolen bases, you name it. And then he got that quad issue late, right before our red-white series. And then it is what it is. But that's the position center field. We have to have a center fielder. Webb's our answer from a defensive standpoint for sure. Even if he doesn't get off to a good start offensively, that's okay. It's kind of like having a shortstop. If he doesn't hit a whole lot, that's okay. Just field everything and make all the plays. But if he's injured, then we may not lose as much offense, or much offense at all, but we may lose a little defense. So that's probably really my main concern in the field defensively.
What's Braden done to get better? Webb, he started with the pretty prolonged slump last year. What did he do to get himself better at the plate? And then You mentioned you thought he's the best center fielder you've ever had. You've had Benintendi and Eibner and Fletcher and Franklin. That's a pretty big statement,
right there
I think.
With all those guys. If you're talking about center fielders, if you're just talking about running and catching the ball and reading the ball off the bat, there's never been anybody better than Fletcher. Because Fletcher he had corner outfield speed, but his instincts were off the charts. I mean, he saw the pitch coming in, and he knew pretty much which way to start moving before the hitter swung. And he would start leaning that way. It was incredible. It was incredible there, But, guys like Eibner with really good speed and tremendous arms, and Franklin, played left as a freshman, moves over there, and then we don't skip a beat there. And had Craig Gentry out there for a while, a long time ago. It was incredible. And we've had a couple other guys out there that were amazing. I think if you're going to win in this league, you better be able to catch it in the outfield. So we've got a bunch of guys that can hit, but we've got to play good defense out there. And, our corner guys they're good corner guys. If you put one of them in center, he's going to be an average center fielder that hits. We've even had Zach Gregory out there a little bit. He runs well, but he's still fairly new in the outfield, and he's one of the most improved players on the team as well. So I don't know. What was the other part of the question?
What's Braden done to get better at the plate?
Well, let's go back to last year. We opened up in Texas, and I don't know does anybody remember where he hit in our order? Game 1, he hit cleanup. So we've seen this. If you look at his numbers from junior college, they were incredible. We get him here, And we're thinking, man, what a great athlete. One of the first practices of the year of his first year here, he dives for a ball, makes an incredible catch in left field, and hurts his ribs. Misses most of the fall. So he's had some injuries, and here we go again a little bit. So, I mean, he hasn't really done a whole lot to make himself better. He was good. He was already good, you know. It's just a matter of getting on the field. So what do we do to get him off to a better start? Maybe we hit him down in the order a little bit and just let him climb the ladder, let him stay down there and hit. So I'll be honest with you, we were just in their meeting talking about our lineup. You know, yeah, maybe the first couple of guys in the order, you know where you want to hit them, but we got a couple 3 and 4 type hitters and 5-hole hitters, and we got a bunch of guys. There's going to be guys. I mean, if Jalen Battles is hitting in the 8 or 9 hole, I thought Jalen coming back this year hit 5th or 6th, and right now he may be hitting 8th or 9th, just because he's a better hitter than that. Carson Shaddy hit 9-hole a few years ago and hit about 390 all year, and everyone's telling me I need to move him up, and I told him I talked to him about moving up, and he said, I want to stay there. And he killed it down there. Finally, late in the season, we moved him up to about 5th because we had to. But we're going to have a deep lineup, and as an opposing pitcher, you're going to have to fight us because we're going to fight you and try to get your pitch count up and get in that bullpen.
Anything else? Can you see the field better from the first base dugout? Have you been there enough to kind of?
Yeah, I mean, we've been in it before. I don't think it's all about the same, really. You know, our dugout's going to be a little colder the first half of the season, obviously. That dugout's actually bigger. It's longer. I don't know what happened when they built the stadium. We noticed that when we first got here. It's longer, and the roof is a little lower. Watch out when you get excited. You might hit your head if you're 6'5". So I don't know if it's settled over there or what happened, but it's you know, it's going to be a good setup. I think you guys walked through it. We got new flooring put in it, a lot better, and they're going to cut out part of the bench, put a bat rack in there, and it's supposed to be done hopefully shortly. The area where the coaches hang out's a lot bigger. If you look at the two, it's probably 5, 6, 7 feet bigger. Makes it better for us. They'll have a straight path from the bat rack right up and out. We can kind of hang in our area. It's very comfortable. It's just a little cooler. Second half of the season, it'll be better. But it's all the same to us. We're in the first base dugout on the road all the time.
Everybody sees the park, and it's got the #1 ranking and all these different things. You've seen that. When you guys built the Fowler Center, obviously you thought that there was more that could be done, and this building is a reflection of that. I mean, at this point, though, now that you've got the Fowler Center in this building, is this as good as it gets? Is there anything you can do to improve what you've got facility-wise?
I think probably the only thing that you could really improve are things like as far as for a baseball team would be maybe the surface of your field, you know, because we're probably due for that. You know, a lot of times fields really settle and they get a little bit wavy in the outfield. I think we replaced the infield 5 or 6 years ago. We actually have we have 2 different Bermuda grasses on our field. When they replaced the infield a few years ago, there was a new, fancier, better Bermuda grass, and we put that on the infield and all the way around the back. And certain times of the year, you can see it. The outfield has a little thicker blade. It needs to probably all be redone in the future. Things like that. But really, probably more than anything, we have what we need to get where we're at. I mean, there's always going to be something technology-wise that will improve your scouting of other teams or whatever, and we try to stay up with that. But I think probably what we're going to need, honestly, and Frank Broyles thought I was crazy when I said that in the summer of 2002, we're going to need more seats here. You know, there's people that are not happy that didn't get season tickets, and I don't blame them. And there's groups of people that want those skyboxes or suites, whatever you want to call them, and they're probably maybe the most popular suites on campus because we play a lot of games. You get to talk between innings, and you know it is what it is. It's their space to do it. It just takes money, and we just spend a lot of money. And there's other facilities on campus that need some things done. And I think for something like that to happen, it would probably really take a group of people to come in and say, "Hey, here's what we want to do with this money." Because if not, it's probably somebody else's turn on campus to get something done. And softball's been doing a great job, and I feel like that Courtney and them, they deserve whatever they need, obviously, and you could go on and on. So we're very happy with where we're at. I would say what's going to happen next really will be finding a way to maybe put more people in here, because there's teams in our league. I think we can get 11,000 plus in here supposedly, but we could put certain weekends when you play LSU and Ole Miss and regionals, super regionals, we could get 15, 16, 17 in here. I believe that, and I mean, I felt bad for people this year when I heard what some of the tickets were going for. That's not right, and it wasn't us charging it. It's whoever got their hands on the tickets, and I guess it's a free world and do what you want. But when you're hearing that somebody's paying $1,500 to watch a college baseball game, it's a little crazy. I might pay $1,500 to go to the Super Bowl if the Chiefs are in it, but other than that, I'm not doing it. So, but I think they're going to have to expand it, take it around the left field, go over the top. You got to keep the area out there for the students in the grass, but maybe they can do something in the right too, as well. Just some more. I think, a lot of, like I guess what I was getting to. There's Mississippi State and Ole Miss, and they get 13,000, 14,000 in their place, and I don't think those places are bigger than Northwest Arkansas. So if you put a good team on the field, they'll show up. I'm fine. We're good.
First base, what's it look like there?
It looks like just a little different angle.
No, I meant the guys. Your first baseman.
Oh, my first base. I thought you were talking about that dugout again. I'm like, come on, let's move on from the dugout. Oh, my first baseman. Maybe it's the mask, man. I can't hear anymore either. What are you talking about? Okay, so first baseman, it's a great question, Bob. But right now, Peyton Stovall will be our first baseman. He's second baseman and shortstop. In high school, he played second base until his senior year because they had a really good shortstop. His senior year, he played short. I saw him play short in summer baseball. We played him at third this past fall. Didn't like it a whole lot, I would say. It didn't go real good for him at first, but all he did was hit and put him at first, and he loved it. He likes it over there, and he's good over there. Yeah, he's right at 6 foot tall, so he's not as big as maybe some of the first basemen, but if you throw it in the dirt, he's going to pick it. He's going to play second base here in the future. If we still work him at second, but for this year's team, with Robert being at second base, that's not happening. So Peyton's a good teammate. He's a good kid, works hard, and he'll be our first baseman. Slavens has been playing right field. He had a arm issue all fall. It's still bothering him a little bit. He's back playing a little first base, probably more than anything just because his arm had been bothering him and now it's not, and now he's thinking, hey, maybe he doesn't want a DH because that's what happens a lot of times when your arm's bothering you. But right now, Peyton Stovall's our first baseman, and I see him playing a lot.
Alex Schlesman. I'm good. You good? All right, I'll do it.
Okay.
Thanks, Coach.
Okay, guys. See you.